I got this jumper from Depop. It's, I mean, I was gonna save it for Halloween, but it was just too fucking cute not to wear. Blimey, look at that. Ooh. You know what, I actually love my hair like this. I used to straighten the fuck out of my hair and now I just let it do whatever and it's frizzy as balls, but it's so much healthier. Hello everybody. Today is the 14th of June 2020 and today is day 82 in lockdown. We're in semi-lockdown now, everything is resuming. It feels weird to be going back to normality, not sure if I like it. I think I've spent more time in lockdown than I have working this year, which is just a really weird thought. So, I don't know, I feel a little bit weird about going back to work. We got sent a questionnaire through yesterday that we had to fill out, which was how have we found being furloughed. I said I found it incredibly helpful considering the situation, and it's also about all the social distancing measures that they're going to implement when we go back, and also if we'd be happy to have less hours seeing as we wouldn't be serving as many guests due to social distancing, which I answered no. I wasn't exactly getting many hours as it is. The only time I think I'd be happy to take less hours, because obviously I know that there will be less hours for everyone. So potentially we're only going to be filling up half the restaurant, so I understand that there will be less hours for everyone as well, but obviously everyone's in the same boat. We all still need and want our hours. We all still have bills to pay, and regardless of everyone's personal situations, we're all still entitled to our contracted hours. However, I remember reading something somewhere about the government extending the furlough scheme until October to top up your wages, so if your employer isn't able to give you your full amount of hours, I think the idea is the government top up the remainder so that you're not too short, or fingers crossed anyway. Another thing is, I was thinking about this, we rely on tips, and obviously as a waitress, cash tips we don't have to declare. We get to keep 100% of cash tips. It goes primarily to the server that you hand it to. However, card tips we get a certain percentage of, and then we get taxed on it, and then it get basically don't get to see the 100% of it. I think we get 70% or 60%, and then we get taxed on that. Then the remainder gets shared between other members of staff. Whenever people tip, I know that I'm not the only one that does this. Maybe I'm the only one that can admit it, but if I work my arse off for a table, I'm working front of house, I'm putting on the front, I'm doing the customer service, I feel like I have earned that tip. I do normally try and sway them towards cash tips because we don't have to declare them. I don't know. I just think that I have done the grunt work. Customer service is fucking hard, and I'm not saying that working in the kitchen isn't hard, because I've always said that I genuinely don't think I'd be any good in the kitchen, and all of the guys that work in our kitchen are incredible and I couldn't do their job, and I've said this time and time again. So it's not to do with that I don't appreciate that they're doing a great job. I just think my thought is, when a table give you a tip, they are tipping your service that you have given them as a waitress, unless they are specifically going to say the food was great, can you share this tip with the kitchen. That tip is my tip. That's part of being front of house. Working with people is hard. I genuinely don't want this to come across the wrong way, but the people in the kitchen, a lot of them don't want to do and have previously said to me that they wouldn't like to do my job. So if tipping is like a perk of the job that I've chosen to do and they don't want to do that job, then it's kind of, they've chosen to not work in a role where they get tips, you know? I'm choosing to do that customer facing role. What is this bit of hair doing? Because I like talking to people, I like being bubbly and hey guys, what can I get for you today? And you know, sometimes it's a little bit shit, but I do enjoy my job. So I just think if that's part of being front of house, then I'm not going to feel bad for wanting to get cash tips. But there have been plenty of times where I've shared my tips with the kitchen. There have been plenty of times that I have said, you know, you can tip on card if you would like to tip the kitchen staff as well. I just think maybe I'm the only one that has the balls to say it. We are a team, but at the same time, I know that if someone in the kitchen was handed a tip through the hatch, they wouldn't share it with us. Tipping is always a very sensitive subject. I just think if you've chosen not to work in a customer facing role, then don't complain about not getting the perks of working in that role. Does that kind of make sense? It's going to sound incredibly hypocritical, but at the end of the day, we are still all a team. Everyone is an integral part of the team. I can't do the kitchen's job. I would be terrible. I don't understand how they deal with the stress, but at the same time, they don't understand the stress of the front of house role. No one is ever going to understand completely unless they are cross-trained. But yeah, I went off on a little tangent. The reason that I was talking about tipping is because I think most places when they reopen are trying to get you to pay by card, and I think that most people, I mean, it was already already hard to get people to tip in cash anyway, and now I think no one's going to be paying in cash, which means we won't get tips, which means that is another thing we're losing out on. So considering we were, like I said, already on pittance, we rely on tips a lot to boost our earnings. We'll be primarily relying on card tips, I think. So that's just something I was thinking about the other day. Yeah, sometimes people say like, why do you care about tips so much? And it's not that I care about tips, it's that we rely on tips heavily. And you get the people that are like, well, just get a better job, and it's like easier said than done. What was I saying? But yeah, we had to fill out a questionnaire, and it was basically just, how did you find being furloughed? Are you able to start back at work when required? If you answer no, state the reason. Are you happy to accept less hours? And it was just things like that. So I filled that out and just said that I wasn't happy to receive less hours. I don't think I'd be happy to receive less hours unless I knew for sure that the government were topping it up, because it's not a livable wage. Pretty sure that minimum wage went up in April, but because we were already in lockdown and we weren't getting paid by the hour, we were getting like an average pay on furlough. We didn't get I think it was a 50p increase minimum wages now, which we should really notice a difference, which is really helpful. I think that's the only thing I'm worried about. Hours, and well, not the only thing, I think I'm worried about keeping safe as well, like giving good service whilst also maintaining a distance. I don't know, it makes me a little bit anxious. You know, we're having to reopen, we have no choice, we just all have to adapt. I think this is going to be what the rest of the year is like. Definitely everything is going to be one-way systems, like that really confuses the heck out of me. And I know that sounds really silly because it's a one-way system, you think it would be really fucking simple, but the amount of times I have got lost in a Co-op or a Sainsbury's, or I keep going down the up aisles, it's just really fucking confusing. And then if you forget something, you have to go like back around the one way to get to the aisle that you need. You have to really plan your shop. I mean, I know that they're trying to do it for a reason, but it's just fucking confusing, mate. I just struggle. I don't know. I've just found it very confusing. And a one-way system should not be confusing, but the way that they've done the arrows in like Tesco, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. So that's one thing. And I think the fact that everything is going to have to be one-way system. They're reopening, I know I've mentioned this, but they're reopening the big shopping centre near me. There's two big ones near me, Bluewater and Lakeside. They are reopening on Monday. I think I'm going to Bluewater with my friend Hannah on Wednesday. Fucking dreading it. They don't seem to think that they're going to have to use the queuing system like we have in Tesco and Sainsbury's with barriers and security guards, and they are saying as long as they don't exceed the number of people that they've set that they can have in the shop at one time, there won't be a queuing system. But do they really think that not everyone is going to rush to the shops on Monday? It's going to be fucking chaos. So there's going to be a queue out of every single shop pretty much in Bluewater. I can guarantee it. I really wanted to go on Monday and just film it. I wanted to film my reaction and like what it was like, but I think I'm going to get stuck on the motorway if I go up there, so I'm not going to do that. But I do think it's going to be a lot more chaotic than they're anticipating. The shopping centre, the pictures I've seen, it's like split into 2 lanes and it's completely one way. Oh, it's going to be so weird to go in a one-way system. I know this is definitely coming across as like first world problems, but it's just, I think it's still, no matter how big or small it is, it's still a change. We're all still having to adapt to all these changes. Wearing masks on public transport. The 2-metre distance apparently is getting decreased. Don't know if it's getting decreased to 1 metre or 1.5 metres, or I don't know if that's actually true, but I read something on the Metro or the Guardian. I just think there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to have to adapt to, and even if they are small things, I can't remember the quote, but it was something to do with autism and how this is how a child with autism feels on a daily basis, how we feel about all these little changes that are going on and how anxious we're feeling and how we feel like we're on the edge. Someone described it as how we feel we're standing on a ledge, and someone has the back of our clothes and is like dangling us forward and back so we could fall forward or back at any time. That's how we feel about all these little changes at the moment. We're very uncertain, and that's how a child with autism feels on a daily basis. And I was like, wow, I just thought that was really interesting. And I know it might not be a good analogy. Someone with autism might be sitting there thinking, no, like that's not how I feel, but maybe some people with autism do feel like that, and now mainstream people can actually get a sense of what it is like to live with autism. Maybe, I don't know. This is just my opinion, so please don't hate me. I read this story somewhere and I just thought, okay, that's a really interesting analogy. I think it also helps people that don't have anxiety maybe understand anxiety a little bit better as well, because I don't know, I don't feel really anxious about going back to work, but I think that will change like a couple of days before. I think I won't be able to sleep and my mind will be like, but everyone's all up in arms and everything's just all jumbled about at the moment. And I think even people that don't suffer from anxiety or don't have any mental health problems, even they're a bit shook. Think now they can understand, maybe to a small degree, how someone with anxiety, how someone with a mental health problem feels on a day-to-day basis. Everyone's out of their comfort zone. Everyone is like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone has to adapt and change, and it's weird, and everyone feels on edge, and that's how I feel on a day-to-day basis. So I am constantly waiting for something to go wrong. I'm not even going to go into that now because that could be like a whole other video. I also think, and Jack, my boyfriend, is one of these people, has this mindset of corona is no longer a threat, it doesn't exist, and this is all just about control. And I've heard a lot of people say the same thing, that all of these measures and things that are being put in place is about controlling us and there's actually no threat anymore. And I'd be interested to know what you thought. And I know it sounds stupid, I'm one of these people that I do think it's a threat, but I understand where other people are coming from. There's so much conspiracy surrounding this, which I won't get into again. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but how, you know, they knew, America knew COVID-19 was coming and it was all planned, and it was a planned pandemic, and so now it's all about controlling us as opposed to keeping us safe. I don't know what you all think about that. I do think there's still got to be some kind of a threat. You know, people just haven't died for no fucking reason. You're not going to be like, oh well, there's not really any threat, it's just about control. Maybe to some degree it is still about controlling it, but it's also got to be about controlling the virus. Otherwise, you know, people wouldn't have fucking died. So I don't really know. So that's that. Oh, I am allowed to hug my nan. There was a big story that came out that elderly people can now hug their grandkids. I just think if everyone is going back to work and they're happy to go out to public places, you know, the shops to non-essential shops, then why can't we hug our family? And then I read another story actually that was, as long as we keep a social distance from strangers for the rest of the year, then we can hug and see and have full contact with our family. So yeah, I honestly think we're gonna have to wear masks and keep a social distance, and there will be social distance signs up and one ways and everything for at least the rest of the year. That's just what I think. Also, I got this jumper from Depop. I mean, I was gonna save it for Halloween, but it was just too fucking cute not to wear. Random fact, apparently a chocolate milk is better at waking you up than a coffee. So today I had a Yazoo instead of my coffee. I received my copy of the Happy News yesterday. I haven't read it yet. It was crazy to think that it was just before lockdown that I received my first issue. So please, oh, I just ripped it, oh my god. So please go and subscribe to the Happy News by Emily Coxhead. Get a proper newspaper filled with just positive, uplifting, happy stories. Found this really interesting. A new blood test in the early stages of development has been shown to detect more than 50 types of cancer, even when the patient has shown no symptoms. It can also predict the type and the source of the cancer. How incredible is that? It's $3.99 quarterly, which is nothing, for an abundance of happy news, and just go and subscribe if you can, or gift it to someone. You can do a gift subscription. Yeah, this is the Happy News by Emily Coxhead. And then I know I've mentioned anxiety a little bit in this video. I bought a spinner ring, which when you know, if you do have anxiety, you might fiddle with things. And I do fiddle. Normally I fiddle with hairbands. I tend not to do it when I'm doing videos because I'm so handsy. My hands are always places. So if my hands are ever down here, I'm normally doing that. So I bought a lovely little spinner ring off Etsy. The middle part just spins with a little star on it. It's very simple. I've already found myself just spinning it, and it's quite calming and soothing. I remember when people used to get the Tangle toys. Nice little distraction without being too obvious that it's for anxiety, because it is just a ring. So I think that's quite nice. So I bought that from, can't remember the seller. I will try and put it in the description. Yeah, so I got that. I also bought a lava. You can't see it because it's black. There you go. This is a lava necklace, which is meant to be incredible for anxiety. As lava comes from the core of the earth, wearing this stone helps you to reconnect with your own inner core strength. It's very grounding, it's porous, which means also it comes with, oh bugger, where is it? There you go. You can choose an essential oil to come with it, and this is called Higher Ground. It's meant to be, again, very calming and soothing. Because it's porous material, you just rub a bit of the diffuser oil on there. It soaks into the necklace and just smell it throughout the day, and it's really calming. I think it looks really nice as well. This is from Etsy as well, from a company called Rock and Soul. Again, supporting the little businesses. Then this is a Morse code bracelet, and I got one that says I can in Morse code. I can. Very simple, simplistic little bracelet, and on the back it has the Morse code alphabet. So they do loads of other ones on there, loads of different quotes. I just really liked that I can, because on days where I'm like, I can't do this, I can't fucking do this, I know it might not help, but at the same time maybe it will, and it's just like, I can do this, I can fucking do this, I'm a hardcore bitch, I can do this. I need to tie it tighter, but there we go. I got these really cute little earrings that say fetch on them. That is so fetch. And I bought these from Depop. I love the little independent stores at the moment. And then I bought this hairband. I'm a sucker for a hairband. Look. Oh, love it. I love it. Just pull down some like little, very cute. This was from Etsy. I showed Jack one of my all-time favourite films last night. Cruel Intentions. You can't even see that. Cruel Intentions. If you've never seen Cruel Intentions, I would highly recommend it. Like, it's got a cult following. It's a fucking good film. I don't even know why I like it so much. It's so good. Selma Blair, Ryan Phillips, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Reese Witherspoon. It's got a banging cast. It's such a good film. So I would recommend this. If you watch one film this week, watch Cruel Intentions. Yeah. I'm the Marsha fucking Brady of the Upper East Side, and sometimes I want to kill myself. I'm the Marsha fucking Brady of the Upper East Side, and sometimes I want to kill myself.
I'm the Marsha Brady of the Upper East Side, and sometimes I want to kill myself.
And Jack really liked it, so that's a bonus. It's always good when you recommend a film and the person that you're showing it to likes it, but I hate being one of those people that when I'm really enthusiastic about a film that I feel like I'm pressuring the other person into liking it. So I tried my best to not quote the film, apart from I did quote a little bit. Look at these cute leggings that arrived today. I ordered myself some Hufflepuff leggings. I'm a little bit disappointed with the quality, but still, they're still quite cute. If you don't know by now, I'm a Hufflepuff. And also, got to say in any of my videos so far, happy Pride Month. Kiss whoever the fuck you want. So yes, happy Pride Month. Oh my gosh, my nose is running like a bitch and I haven't got any tissue. Okay, a wedge. Oh, okay. Hope you enjoyed. Was it day 87? See you soon, guys. Bye. I couldn't find the button to turn my camera off. Bye, guys.